So this is a small project I'm for demo purpose I'm developing with the use of Ruby on Rails and AngularJS. So this project I'm going to deploy in my AWS EC2. So first of all, you need to sign up into your AWS account. So no problem, no need to invest money in AWS. So they will provide a free account for 1 year. So you can sign up for 1 year and you can make use of it. So once you registered your account in AWS, so you need to add a Capistrano gem in your gem file. So you can find my configuration Rails EC2 configuration repository here. So I added some default configuration file here. So I'll make use of it. And once it done, you need to do a bundle install. So now everything is done. So first step be done, add Capistrano and Booma gem and do the bundle install. So now everything is done. So once you install your Capistrano gem, now we need to execute, we need to create a configuration file. No need to create your Capistrano configuration file manually. So this is the command cap install stages production. So right now I want only production state. So that's what I am adding production. If you want staging, you can add staging also. So now I want production stage. So now I need to create a configuration file using this command cap install stages production. So no need of that. So deploy. So no need of that. So now everything is done. Once you done a configuration, once you execute that command, it will create a 3 file in your project. One is cap file and another one is config deploy.rb, and another one is it will create a folder called name called deploy, and inside it will create a file called production, because we executed the command as production stages as production. That's why it create a production. If you execute the command as staging, it will create as a staging. So now a 3 file has been created. So now the thing is, now what we need to do is we need to do a setup in this 3 file. So first step, so now everything is done. So first step, I mean to say step 3, you need to copy this code and paste it in cap file. So no problem, I have already in my repository. So cap file. So no need of that, no need to copy this, only copy this command, because already other 4 command already available in our code. So this command I want. I will check, I will verify that. RBM bundler assert. So now everything is done. So we done a configuration, we done a setting in cap file. So next step is we need to edit a deploy.rb file. So the thing is, here is the command. So this file I need to configure. So you can find the code in my repository. So this is the command. Copy this. Copy only this. So here it is. Here is my deploy settings. So the thing is, now we need to mention your application name, you need to mention your repository URL, and here you need to mention URL, deployed as a path URL of server. So these three things, and moreover here you need to mention your version, Ruby version you need to mention here. So right now we didn't create any repository in my GitHub. So now we will create a new repository in my GitHub, and we will push all my file to my repository. And before that, before we need to create a repository, we need to add a small git ignore file, that is your configuration file, config database.yml. Because database YML, you don't want to you don't need to push it into your GitHub repository, because it is very valuable data it has. So it will be very dangerous if someone access your database YML. If someone know about your database information, it will be very dangerous, right? So that's what you don't need to push your config database.yml. So that's what I added into my git ignore. So now everything is done. We will create a new repository. So this is my repository. So now we'll add this git init. So git add, I want to add all the file. Git commit -m initialized commit. So now all of our files is uploading into our repository. So before that, next step, the thing is, now we need to create a new instance, new EC2 instance. So we done a cap file configuration, and we done a deploy .rb configuration, and we added a database YML in git ignore. Next step is we need to create a new instance in AWS EC2. So this is a small step. You need to log in into your AWS system and go to EC2. It's uploading. So now we need to create a new instance. So launch instance. So right now I am selecting Ubuntu 14.4 LTS. So you need to select your server type. So now, so this is free tier. So right now I am using a free account. So if you want to choose any other account, you can choose. Right now I am choosing a free tier account. Next, configure and instant detail. So here you need to do a settings. So no need to worry about this. So I will explain about this. What about these settings in next tutorial. So you need to maintain the default setting. Next, add storage. So now here you need to make a storage space. How much storage you want to make, you can make it. So right now my default is GB is 6. You can make it whatever, how much you want. So you can select here also. So I am selecting I am setting a default option, and next, tag instance. So here you need to give a tag instance value. I am giving URL shortener. Next, configure setup. So now everything is done. Now we need to add a HTTP rule. So here you need to add HTTP. So because it will support a 80 port. So now review and launch. So you need to check every settings. So whatever the settings you done, you check it here. So now everything is good. So if you want to change, you can change it. You can change edit security, you can change instance detail, whatever the details you want to change, you can change. So now click on launch. So here it is. Here if you already have a key pair, no problem, you can select the key pair. If you want to create a new key pair, click on select create a new key pair and give a key pair name as URL shortener. So whatever the name you want, you can give, so no problem. So download key pair and launch instance. Launch fail. Volume 6 is smaller than snapshot size, except size. Okay. Back to review screen. So now choose existing channel. Okay. Yes. So minimum size is 8 GB. That's why it given error. So now click on view instance. So meanwhile it is initializing. Meanwhile we will do a small configuration in our local system. So what we need to do is we need to paste our URL shortener.pem file into our .ssh folder. So what we need to do is copy, download URL shortener, and so we paste it our URL shortener into SSH folder. So we'll check. So now URL shortener is available. So now you need to do a small ownership. I mean, we need to change the um, access configuration. So we need to change the modification chmod and make it as 400, and my file is URL shortener. So now everything is done. Still is installation, and once it done, you click on connect. So here it is. Here they given the steps. So you need to paste it your SSS key to work. You need to make it as 400. So now everything is done. So we create a new instance in AWS. So now we need to log in into our server, and we need to do we need to install Ruby. We need to install we need to create a user. We need to install nginx server. So all the thing we need to do. So now we will see how to do. So this is the SSH key. SSH login for your Ubuntu system. So type S. So now we log in into our server. So now we need to do a update and upgrade for our server. So this is the command. You can find it in my configuration in my repository. So I need to upgrade a server. So now we are updating. Next step is we need to create a new user and set password in Ubuntu server. So now we will see how to do that. So once it done, so now it's updating. It will take a couple of minutes. So now everything is done. So next step is we need to create a new user in our Ubuntu server. So this is the command sudo user add -g. So I'm creating a username as a deploy, and my path of the user is path of the user is home/deploy. So -m deploy. So now user has been created. Now we need to set a password for our user. For that, sudo passwd deploy. So enter your new password. So now everything is done. So next step is we need to give a sudo user option for our deploy user. So for that, execute sudo. So here copy this, paste it, and here you need to mention as deploy. So deploy is my username, so I am mentioning here. So now everything is done. So now everything is done. We'll check the PowerPoint. So we created a new user, we added a password for user, and we done a given a sudo option for deploy user. So next, so now we need to log in into deploy user, and we need to create a SSH keygen for deploy user. So this is the command. Sudo space minus. You need to enter your password. So now we log in into deploy user. So now we need to create a new key. So if you select SSH, right now there is no SSH folder. So now we'll need to create a SSH key. So no need to type. By default it will be .ssh folder. So that. So now we'll check. So here it is. It's created in SSH is a directory. Yeah. So here it is. Here is my file. Here is all our ID RSA and public key is available. So now what we need to do is we need to copy our ID RSA public key into our GitHub repository. So ID. So here is my code. So copy this and go to your repository. We'll check whether it's uploaded or not. Yes, push has been done. So now we need to set copy our public key into our GitHub. So here it is. So it's another one. Amazon EC2 deploy key, and paste it here and add SSH. So now everything is done. So now we need to check whether we added our SSH key successfully or not. So this is a small command. So here it is. So hi RK Manivannan, you are successfully authenticated, but GitHub does not provide cell access. So we added our what we done, we added our SSH key, our public key into GitHub. So we verify whether it is added or not. So now everything is fine. So next what we need to do is, so we logged into deploy user, we created a keygen. Next we copy our ID RSA public key into GitHub. So next step is we need to copy our local machine public key and paste it into server. So now what we need to do is cat ssh. So this is my local system. So this is my local system. This is my server. So this is my local system. This is my server. So now what I'm now going to do is I'm copying my public key and I'm going to paste it. I'm going to paste this public key into my SSH server SSH folder. So what we need to do is nano EI authorized keys. So now so now everything is done. So now our local system is connecting. It's what we need to do whenever we are uploading file from our local machine to server. This authorized key, it will help us to verify your account, your system is proper, your system is it's a valid one or not, it will check. So the main focus of adding this authorized key is it will check whether your local machine is authorized one or not. So that's why we added authorized key. So now everything is done. So next step is, so now we need to install git in our server, and once it done we need to install nginx in our server. So sudo apt get install git. So your password, yes. So next we need to install nginx server. So we done installation of GitHub and nginx. Now we need to edit our configuration file in nginx. So what we need to do is, so this is the command sudo bi etc nginx site available and default. So this file we need to edit. So we need to command all the existing configuration. So the command all the configuration. So this one also you need to command. So we'll check once again we done everything is fine or not. Okay, so now we need to paste our configuration in this file. So you can go to my repository and you can check. This is my configuration. Copy and paste it here. So here you can mention your this server Unix. Here deploy is my user, I mean path of the user in my server, and URL shortener is my project name. So here also you need to mention your path of the folder, and path of the user, and project file name, project folder name. So this is a very important step you need to do. So now everything is done. Now you save your file, and now small thing we need to do is, and go to your so copy this SSH, go to your code, and in open your deploy.rb. So here you need to paste your repo URL. So now everything is done. So we'll check the PowerPoint. So we added a configuration in default, and we added our repository in our deploy.rb. So next step is we need to install Postgre in our server. So for that, this is the command. So now we install our Postgres in our server. Next step is we need to create a new user in our Postgres server. For that, execute sudo -u Postgres create user -s URL shortener. So this is my Postgres user. So now we created a new user name called URL shortener. But now we need to set a password for our user. So for that, so password, you need to enter your user name. So I'm setting new password. Error URL user shortener. Okay. So we done a password. So now what we need to do is we need to execute. We need to come out from the database. Postgres. Now we need to create a new database. Postgres create db minus capital O URL shortener. So URL shortener is my username, and URL shortener fraction is my database name. So we created a new database user, and we done a password. So next step is, so we install Postgres, we created a new user, we set password, and we done a database, we created a database. So next step is we need to install RVM in our server. Because using of RVM, I'm going to install Ruby in my system, in my server. So this is the command. So no need to worry about that. I have in my configuration file repository. So now RVM is done. Now we need to install a Ruby in our server using of RVM. So before that, which version you want to select, you can check it in your local system. So this is my default Ruby version I'm using in my system, Ruby 2.2.3. So this Ruby version 2.2.3 I'm going to install in my server. So RVM install 2.2.3. So command that one. So why? Because you need to escape and you need to log in again. So password. So now execute. So now we are installing RVM, and now we are installing we done a installation of RVM in our server. Now we are installing 2.2.3 in our server. Next step is we need to install bundler in our server. So next step is we need to install bundler. So now bundler gem installed. So now we need to create a project folder. So open your deploy.rb. So here I mention my project folder name is URL shortener. So home deploy URL shortener. We'll check what is the current path. So right now my path is home/deploy. So now I need to create a new folder name called URL shortener. So here it is. So here is my path of my project. So now we need to create a two different folder name called, we need to create a two folder, share and config. So share. So here is shared is my folder. Inside I have another one folder name called config. So now everything is done. So we created a folder URL shortener, and we created another folder name called URL shortener, shared and config. So now we need to create a two file name called database.yml and application.yml. So we need to create a new two different file. Nano. So we need to paste our database YML configuration. So here is my configuration setup. I am pasting here. So I need to change my password. So now we done a database configuration also. So next step is, so now we need to create application.yml. and save your file. So now everything is done. So next step is we need to add a configuration in production.rb. So what we need to do is open your production.rb. So copy this command, paste it here. So here is deploy is my server username. So username is deploy. So now we need to set up our IP address. So instead of this, you need to change your server IP address. So what is my server IP address? Is this one, 52.39.22. So this is my server IP address, 52.39.134.224. So now we done, everything is done. So now it's a time to update, it's a time to deploy our project. So cap protection deploy. So now everything is happening. So now it's updating all our file to the server. So now git clone is happening. So now bundler is installing. So bundle install is happening in our server. Oh, deploy is failed. I need to check why. Yeah, here it is. Could not find JavaScript runtime. So now we need to small things in our server. We need to install a Node.js in our server. So now we will execute the same command. Now DB migration is happening. Now Puma started. Next step is we need to restart our Nginx server in our Ubuntu server. So for that, sudo service so now everything is done. Now we'll see whether our project is deployed or not, successfully deployed or not. So this is my URL, public DNS URL. So I'll paste it here. So here is my project. Yeah, here is my project. So we successfully deployed our project into our AWS EC2 using Capistrano. So we'll check whether it is working or not. Money.com. Yeah, here it is. Here is my project. So now everything is fine. So we successfully deployed our project into AWS using Capistrano. So thanks for watching video. If you like, please subscribe my channel. Please subscribe my channel and follow me in Twitter and follow me in LinkedIn.